Hey guys, welcome back. I'm joined with our first guest of E3, Douglas. Do you prefer Douglas or Doug? What do your friends call you?
My mom calls me Doug.
Doug.
Yeah.
Okay, that works for me. Welcome, Doug. Tell us who you work for, what do you do, and what we're going to be talking about here today.
Okay, I work for a company called Fun Train, and
That sounds awesome.
It is. It is. We're a small company. We're a small publisher, and we specifically focus on virtual reality.
Oh,
so
very
we've been
nice.
around for
Okay.
we've been around for about almost 2 years, and we have like a product line lined up, but our first one out of the gate is the Exorcist Legion VR, which is like our focus is episodic, short form episodic
Oh, okay.
virtual reality content. Sort of
Yeah.
like I have a television background, and my other partners also have
wow.
film and television backgrounds. So
Okay.
we're trying to take this television model of easy to consume, short form content, very competitively priced, and put
Yeah.
it into VR and make it accessible for everybody.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I know we were supposed to do a VR for the Win segment with Winnie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I got sick. But tell us a little bit about the game.
Well, it's based on the obviously the Exorcist. Everybody knows the Exorcist, right? The Academy or whatever.
Oh,
I can give you the spin, but everybody knows
Yeah.
the Exorcist. So it's based in that world, and
Okay.
it's based on specifically the events that happened at the end of the Exorcist 3.
Oh.
Which involves like a sort of the Gemini killer and the return of Pazuzu. And actually, The Exorcist 3 was originally titled The Exorcist Legion. The novel by William Peter Blatty was titled Legion. So
Okay.
we took that title. We liked that much better, and it sort of played into the story that we wanted to tell episodically
Okay.
with the return of the Pazuzu, who everybody knows from the first film and the third film, and then bring him into this new sort of world. And so we're building on the mythology of the Exorcist franchise.
Horror is not my jam, and I didn't sleep for years after I saw the first one, and I was like a teenager. So I'm a little nervous now that we're going to be playing the game.
Oh, it's not. It's not. It's the thing about VR is like it's all about tone and the feeling. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that's very jump scary, but that wears off after
You get used to it, and you build
Totally.
up that
And
level of tolerance.
and you come to expect it. So what we try to do is we go the other way. So we're
Oh,
building.
God,
we lead you to believe that here comes a jump scare and nothing happens.
That's worse. That's worse.
And the team here, the Wolf and Wood team that is ours. So we're a publisher, but we work with development teams all over actually
nice.
the world. And this one in particular, this developer named Wolf and Wood, they're based out of the UK. They're incredible, and they specialize in tonal, kind of that deep feeling horror instead of just that jump scare. It's the stuff that just kind of slowly builds and builds and builds and
But
builds.
that's an art form in itself.
It is.
And if we can actually get some of the B-roll on screen,
Yeah.
let's look at it.
This is fun.
So, how many episodes will there be overall?
So there's going to be 5 in this.
Okay.
Whether this is our first season or whether we end it here, but there's 5 episodes in this current release. Right now, we've released up to 4 episodes on Steam and
wow.
Steam and Oculus. The 4th episode just came out at the end of April.
Okay.
The 5th episode is now in fact, we're casting yesterday.
Oh,
yeah. So we run
congratulations.
this just like a television, like almost like a production.
Because of your background?
Well, partly that, because it also makes it easier.
Yeah.
It's like, and we're working with a team in the UK, so we're casting. We put it all together, and then the 5th episode, which is the climax. This is a serialized story, so the 5th episode will be releasing very soon. I mean, very soon. In fact, we're going back to review alphas this afternoon.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's good.
So what is one of the favorite, VR is just honestly taking off. What is one of your favorite things that allows you to do, or VR allows you to do, especially with like this game?
Oh, well, it puts you, we like to, what me personally, I mean, it's different from it, I think, for a lot of people, but personally, I like to feel like I'm the protagonist in my own story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And games give you that, like straight 2D games give you that feeling, but when you're standing in sort of a virtual environment and you're looking around and you're interacting with everything around you, you do feel like you're the kind of the star of your own.
This is my world.
This
I
is my
own
world.
this.
Yeah, and you believe it. We develop everything or Wolf develops this in Unity. And,
oh wow. Okay, that's impressive.
And it is an animated world, right? After all, but your mind buys into it so quickly after being in like 2 or 3 minutes. You're there, yeah.
I have such an overactive imagination that this is just like, especially like jump scares. We have like the old school like Amnesia, and
Sure.
You think of the Outlasts, all wonderful games, but you get used to that tolerance of, okay, I expect something to come around this corner.
We talked a lot about before we started the Exorcist on what games we liked and what we wanted to sort of not steal from, but borrow from, or what ideas inspired. That's a better word.
I got you.
Yeah, thank you. We talked a lot about Firewatch, believe it or not. And we talked about like this storytelling element of Firewatch, or even Soma. These games.
Soma, yeah.
Soma. I mean, obviously Firewatch isn't a horror game, but it kind of has really unsettling elements.
It gives you that, like, the whole time I'm like, is this a horror game? Like, what, this unsettling of he's watching me? Who is this person?
Right.
What's going on?
And Ryan at Wolf and Wood and we talked a lot about this and with the other members of the team, and that we wanted to tap into those ideas of what like Soma gives us, or what Firewatch gives, and that to give us, to as some sort of touchstone, so we can always reference back to
this
something.
Feels right.
This feels right, exactly. So that's and I can't. It's hard for me to see what we're seeing. So what we're looking at, I think what we're seeing now is these look like trailers.
Yes.
And this is actually our trailer for Chapter 4, which came out in April, and this takes place. I just want to point out that each of our episodes. Each of our episodes has is a different demon and a different location.
Oh, okay.
So when I talk about serialized or episodic content, we're actually, each new chapter, you're in a completely different place. So it's not like one house and you're going through each room of a house for the entire series.
Yeah.
Chapter 1, you're in a Boston chapel, and you start off in a police precinct, and then Chapter 2, you're in a mental institution or an asylum, but it's not the traditional mental asylum.
Yeah.
There's a woman there that has something inside her that you've gone to see if this is in fact one of the Legion that's returned. Chapter 3 takes place in a brownstone apartment in the attic of a home, and a baby is being, there's creepy sounds on a baby monitor, and a baby is being menaced by something in the shadows that you have to sort of draw out of the shadows. And Chapter 4, which we just saw, this is back to the police precinct. But the Chapter 4 sets in Haiti. And so, so we sort of there's something spreading, a disease or a pathogen in Haiti that's unexplained, that maybe science can't explain. So your character you're on this path already in the story, but you go to Haiti to see if maybe this is one of the demons that has actually taken root in Haiti and is causing so much
trouble.
That's right. Chapter 4 takes place in. We've released the title. Chapter 5 takes place in.
I was just gonna ask.
Upper Mesopotamia. So that is actually the.
Isn't that in like the first movie where they like start?
Exactly. This is the heart of where it all began. The excavation site, deep in the caverns. It's our longest chapter by far. Our longest episode by far, and it's the team is I just reviewed the alpha for the first time 2 nights ago. It is crazy to scream at the own and you know what to expect because we have our list. We know what the story beats are, but then to actually yell out loud in your in your living room when you're it's embarrassing, but it's also really exciting.
Well, we won't tell anybody, I guess. It's a little late for that one. But so that's really neat that the story kind of does a full circle back even into the first movie in that sense of where it all began.
Right. It did. And also that taps a lot into I mean, I don't know how many of your viewers have actually seen the third film, but there's this Gemini killer in the third film, and in the Exorcist Legion VR, we have this Gemini copycat.
Oh, okay.
So this person seems to know a lot about you and what you're doing, and is always feeding you information.
Yeah.
Go look over here, go look over there,
Oh, that's
or
worse.
go journey to here, and that story actually also comes full circle.
Oh, that's kind of neat. So you
Yeah.
have like the two kind of parallel,
I mean,
or maybe.
in TV terms, we call it the A story and the B story. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that.
So I mean, they just make this stuff up, but it's.
I'm sure they do, but at least I know it
yeah,
now.
no, we have a point of a point of reference, but it's our sort of our sub story,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, the one thing that Wolf is great with. And we never planned, Fun Trade never planned, was they lay in so much subtext, so much deep story, and that you can get, if you look in every nook and cranny of all of these 5 chapters, you're going to find
More lore and stuff.
more lore. Exactly. And
Okay.
we equate it to like Skyrim, like the
Oh, very nice.
reading the books.
Yeah.
You can read the books in Skyrim till
And learn more.
yeah, and then you can
That's
spend
really kind of
you can
neat, the
spend-
amount of detail.
You can spend weeks in Skyrim reading those books. I mean,
It's just too much.
we don't have weeks of things, but we have enough to really give you a lot of more context to what you're doing. Or for those people that just want to like breeze through it, and about each chapter runs about 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. I was
give
answering
or-
my questions for me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
No, perfect.
Give or take, like you know, how fast or how scared you are, or how much you want to creep, or if you want to just like boldly kind of like run
Here I
into that
go.
room. Yeah. But usually our mean time is about 25, 30. There's some, I've seen some playthroughs go up to 45 minutes per
Okay.
per episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be 5 total.
Yep.
Do you have an idea of when 5 is going to release to wrap up the story?
I have an idea.
Are you allowed to say it?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, the thing about saying release dates is like,
They might change.
yeah, if you miss it, then
Yeah.
you're screwed, right? Because everybody is like, you said this, and then, but it's going to be. I can tell you, we're looking at alphas now.
Okay.
We don't want to delay. We're trying not to have more than 2 months go between
Oh, wow.
any specific episodes. So we're cranking these out. We want it to be on
Okay.
like a schedule, so every 2 months, you know that you can expect an Exorcist product or even a Fun Train product.
Okay.
With some of our other stuff. So that's what it's going to be within a month to a month and a half. I can tell you that from today.
Because you're already doing casting.
Oh yeah. Oh, we already cast it. We did the recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we cast.
That's a quick turnaround time.
That's the idea. But don't forget, we're only making 30 to 35 minutes
True.
each episode. So it's not like we're making a 10-hour, 20-hour
Yeah,
VR
I guess
game.
that's true.
And the reason we're and I just, if I can, the
No,
reason
no,
the
please.
reason we really like the short form content is
Mm-hmm.
because we noticed a couple years ago, and then even more recently, the amount of time that people like to spend in headset is
30 minutes.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
it tends to be, you know, you can go longer if you have a really immersive game, but even a game that really sucks you in, like I'll bring up Skyrim again just because I
Yeah. No, I'm not
that
complaining.
you're going to stay in there 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and,
Yeah.
and then you start getting like,
Okay.
my head's hurting or my eyes, and this is just kind of the constraints of the technology right now. So we've built, we try to create these chapters or these episodes in bite-sized morsels that you can consume all in one setting,
I really like that.
from beginning to end. Here's a story. Just like if I sit down and I watch, like from my television days, you sit down in the beginning. Like I'll use Westworld because I'm watching that at the moment. But
Works for me.
I'll sit down in the beginning and I'll watch it from beginning to end, and then I'll get up and I'm like, okay, I did it.
Yeah.
So I don't have to come back and try to catch up with where I,
Where
a
was
week
I?
later, where was I? So that's our particular a plan of attack for this type of.
I like that
VR
you
experience.
put the thought process behind like how long does an average viewer kind of want to sit in that headset.
Right.
And that's really smart.
It's also, but it's not just to like use the numbers to
Mm-hmm.
dictate the stuff. It's also about giving people good value. Not breaking the bank. I mean, when people
Yeah.
buy VR,
How much does it cost?
each chapter on Steam and Oculus is $4.99.
I'm sorry.
$4.99.
That's it?
That's the whole point of this. Is like it's a television model. We're trying
Okay.
to. So you're not when people spend. I mean, VR prices are coming down, obviously, right? So
Yeah, but that's still like amazing for 30 minutes of content. Like $4.
yeah. Well, the idea is like the cost of what Starbucks
Yeah,
costs.
coffee.
You get a sandwich, you get a Starbucks. It's the same idea. So.
Okay.
You watch a movie on iTunes, you're going to pay. I mean, to watch a TV show on iTunes, you're going to pay $1.99, $2.99, or even more
Yeah.
if it's like the a better title. So that's what we're trying to do is we're trying to kind of make this easily consumable, financially accessible, like for people.
Yeah.
So if you drop $800, $1,000, $1,200 on a VR rig, you shouldn't have to pay 60. I mean,
Please
I know
don't.
that. I know. I shouldn't say that in here, but you should. I think it's hard for some people to fork over another $59
Yeah.
for.
It's hard to justify it when you're kind of in
I mean,
that
you're already
process.
so deep in, you know.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what the genesis of this idea of this shorter. Short form. I keep calling it short form, and that sounds so square.
No, it's but that's what it is, though.
Yeah, but it's also easily consumable. It's like, you know, yeah.
Cool.
Anyway,
Well, where can we find out more about your company and the Exorcist VR game?
well, the Exorcist is at exorcistlegion.com.
Okay, no dash, just straight
Just
through.
straight exorcistlegion.com, and Funtrain we're funtrainvr.com.
Okay.
So Funtrain altogether VR.com.
Cool.
And yeah, we just announced last Thursday. Was it Thursday, Friday, that we're going to be releasing on PlayStation VR as well.
Oh, congratulations.
So our not only are we on Steam and Oculus, we're on PlayStation, and that launch of episodes 1 through 3 is going to be on the 19th.
Okay.
So just after the show, E3.
So June 19th.
Yeah, just
Okay.
after E3 ends, then we're out with
Perfect.
that. But
well, congratulations.
thank you, and I hope we do get to do the For the Win.
Oh, we will.
yeah.
I promised.
I know, I'm so sorry.
I promised. So.
But anyway, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
No, this was very awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you for hanging out. We'll be right back, guys, with Lisa, who you guys met at PAX.